Hey everybody, it's me, Remy, the comic book poser, and I got a lot of stuff in the mail today, so I decided to go live, and I see that Nick, a third of my favorite burrito of the comic kind, is here to see what's in the box, and I think Nick has seen one of my unboxing videos where I just straight boosted that clip from 7. And I think I have one that I haven't released yet where, like, you see me and my 3-year-old daughter talking, and then all of a sudden you get, "What's in the fucking box?" So that's entertaining to me. But baby's on a walk with my wife. 3-year-old is watching a show, and she'll probably walk in here any minute when she hears me talking to a computer. So I decided it would be the perfect time to unbox all of these things. I know what is in my Lyonsden box. I don't know what's in my Comic Tom box that I'm always excited to look at. And then my buddy Cole from Comic Burrito sent me some things. I mean, Nick, are you double dog daring me to put that up on the stream? So is that your way of telling me that, like, Cole owns your dick, or used to, and now it's mine? Because that's cool. Oh, nice. It's Nick says it's from both of us. So I'm gonna start with my Lion's Den box. I've opened several things from David before. If you are not following David or the Lion's Den on Twitter, he is on as at Driving Creators, because, like I've said, every time that I've opened something or mentioned whatever it is that I'm ordering from David, he sells all kinds of books, but at the end of the day, his mission is to do everything in his power to promote indie creators. And I think buying stuff from David or just kind of interacting with him on Twitter has kind of pushed me to look into more of the same, right? And David doesn't half time it like I do, right? That everything you see David tweet about or get reviewed on his website is 100% indie stuff, creator owned content or published content all the time. And I think that that's really cool. And in an interview that I plan on releasing on Saturday, I had a fascinating conversation with David Lahan from the author of, or not David, Jared, the author of Dryfoot. And we kind of talk about why he likes indie, creators or publishers. And he may be a little biased because he, is releasing a book through one, but the conversation was still there. The first thing that I got from the Lion's Den are two of these hardcover Avengers trades. That it's New Avengers 1 through 6 and 7 through 12 as part of kind of the New Avengers Infinity Saga. Nice. The burrito is there in full force now, arguing with each other. So I got that. The second book that I picked up, and it might be the one that I was most excited about, it is a graphic novel anthology called The Good Fight. And it's, about fighting bigotry and racism. And there are all kinds of collected stories in here. I'm going to see if there's kind of a quick title or credit page of here are all of the people who are involved. And I'll make sure that when I edit this, I'll put it up where you can read it a lot better. But I think, right, this is an important story, not just to read in this day and age, but as I've talked about a bunch of times, I look for books that I can use in school or things to reference with my students. So as I teach, government, and we talk about political discourse, and we talk about, how to have these conversations or how to stand up for things. I think this book creates a good, jumping off point to do that. And then the last thing that's in here, I have mentioned, I think on the last unboxing where I got some Black Mask stuff. It was either Black Mask or TKO. That I saw this sitting on his website, and I knew it had my name all over it. So I now have all of the singles of Dark Ark, the Aftershock book that is Cullen Bunn's story about like evil Noah's Ark, like what happens if they built a ship full of demons and things like that. Here's a good nod from the Burrito. IDW has a book called Love is Love that was about dealing with like LGBT rights, and that's cool that they sent all of the money to the aftermath of the Pulse nightclub shooting for those funds that were created. So I think that's another book that I'll definitely have to save and check out, because I think that would be another good tool to have, especially since I have a large number of students on the queer identity spectrum that, again, are interested in art, are interested in comics, are interested in looking at representations of, themselves in media. And I'm very excited to be able to share that with them. So here's the second half of the Dark Ark run. I'm also really excited to get these because Cullen Bunn is coming to my LCS in, I think they're working out in like 2 months. He was supposed to come in early April for the shop's 2nd anniversary sale, and then that didn't happen. And then this is pretty cool. So last time I ordered something, he sent me 2 little extra books. So we've got Tales of the Reanimator from here, which, hell yeah, if this is connected to the Reanimator horror films, very excited. And then Dr. Spectre, Master of the Occult. And I don't know anything about Dr. Spectre, but I can tell you that I like the way Mark Waid writes about things. So I'm excited to look at that. So thank you for this extra little add-in, David. Again, you all should check out his website, the Driving Creators Network. You can click on the comic shop link to the Lyonsden. His listings are always changing. Sometimes he'll throw some graded books up there. He'll have different runs of things. But what I think his best deal are the box of comics sections that he has. And those have been the things that I've ordered from him primarily in the past. I did his Black Mask box, and that's where I got singles and trades. That's where I got the Wilds and an autographed number, a signed number 1 by Vita Ayala. I did his TKO box. So he has some really, really, really cool collections up there that I'm 90% sure that if you priced everything out at market value, he's taken a hit from it. But it's definitely, he is someone that, you should do business with, that everything comes packaged beautifully, that all of the money that he makes through the sales goes straight back into promoting indie creators, which, again, he's doing the Lord's work. Comic Burrito says my shop pulls in some big guns. I love the owner of my LCS. Jason quit teaching to open a comic book shop and kind of uses that as his passion, that this will be the third or fourth signing that I will have been able to have gone to since I've started actively shopping at a store yesterday. Matthew Klickstein, who is the author and writer of You Are Obsolete, was back for his second signing because the trade was released last week. Cullen Bunn is coming, and that freaks me out because the number of times that I've written about any of his books is huge. And I don't know how he does it or how he works his magic, but the people that he gets to come in are people who I'm really, really excited to see come in. So the second box I'm going to crack into is my box from Cole from Comic Burrito that a couple weeks ago I sent these guys each a couple of books based on some of the things that they talked about from their most impactful comic series. And I did that to see if I could grease the wheel to win their trivia contest. And they still asked me a bunch of questions about shit that I had no clue of. So the first thing that I see in opening the box, and it excites me to know that I got mine faster than Cole got his. I am now the proud owner of a Something is Killing the Children bandana. So big fan of that. I think some of you saw me complaining on Twitter that I missed the window of when Tynion was selling these, and I know that he made a limited run because he was just planning to put them together. So I'm excited for that was their prize of winning their trivia challenge from 2 weeks ago. The second thing that I've got, I've become closer with these dudes from Michigan more so than anybody else that I talk to or watch. And I was trying to surprise them by contacting their LCS to see if I could get a shirt sent my way so I could be repping their shop, the Comic Signal in Grand Rapids. I think I got that right. And their the owner of their LCS has been dealing with health issues and has been needing a surgery. So that is the regular logo for the shop, but this the proceeds of this shirt all go to funding organ donation. So I think that was, it's a really cool shirt. It's a really cool cause, and I'm excited to rep a shop from Grand Rapids here in lovely Lawrence, Kansas. And then, as Cole and I have had many a late drunken conversations, we learned that we are both fairly similar in terms of what we like and what we read. So he said he had a couple of books to send my way. So I'm excited to get into these, and Cole knows that I love blue tape. Blue tape is the best tape to try and get through. Then I don't have to guess where it is. It's just there. So the first one is very funny to me. So as I started tweeting, the quarantine show that my wife and I took on was Riverdale, that we were playing catch up, and Cole also knows that I'm trying to get my wife to not make fun of me when she reads comics. So here is the Road to Riverdale trade collection to kind of set up that world. So I'm excited to see that. And Cole knows that from one of the Rad Raptor auctions, I bought all of the books of Blossom 666. So I'm excited to now add Dark Archie to my list, since I think the only Archie books that I actually own are Archie versus Predator 2 and Archie meets the B-52s, because I like the B-52s. So in here, I've got a December 2008 one-shot of Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. I think everybody knows how much I've enjoyed what Fraction and Lieber are doing on their current run that's almost done. I flew through number 11 this morning as I was sitting on my porch drinking a cup of coffee. Really, really enjoyed it. Cole also knows that I like odd characters or characters that are not nearly as hyped as everybody else. So I've started collecting the mid-80s run of Booster Gold, right, where we see his first solo title or first solo appearance. So here's the first run. Is this, yeah, 2007 of that Booster Gold series. This one I don't know, and I don't recognize the year from the DC logo, but there's a Booster Gold one-shot book, so that's awesome. And then, oh, the Zero issue, Crisis in Time. So Cole has now given me a new dumpster to throw money down as I chase those. And then some of you all knew how sad I was that I didn't get a copy of Wind. And I was like, who do I know that's going to shops not near me? And it was like, oh, my boy Cole. So thank you for sending me a copy of Wind and sending me all of these things. Now I got to think of what's coming out the other way. All right, who else is here? Now it's not just a burrito party. So, oh, hey Nat, how's it going? I mean, yeah, you can come here, although I wouldn't count myself as one of the cool kids. And then David's here. David, you missed me open your box and say a whole bunch of nice shit about you and why I love doing business with you and doing seeing how loudly you use your voice to support independent creators and publishers. That I believe the phrase I used was that you're doing the Lord's work. And when I edit this video into 3 individual unboxings, I'll make sure to have all kinds of links and texts of everything that you can do to track what David is doing and the stuff you can see through the Driving Creators Network. And I like that you saw the SKC, that I was tired of wearing a hat and I went with my bandana / my hair's gross because I haven't showered in a couple of days look. So thank you. All right, the last thing we are diving into today is my Comic Tom box. This is my 3rd mystery mail call. I really, really liked the first one. The second one, the second box to me was hit and miss, but more enjoyable than not. I know that Cole said if I didn't want my copy of the issue 0 wrestling story, that I can send it his way. So there's a good chance that, since I know they love some wrestling stuff up that way, that I can send that book to a good home too. So we're out of the Mylar. I'm flipping my last book over. So let's see what we got. It eats what feeds it. This is the Comic Tom exclusive cover from Scout. This is a book that I've actually started looking into. That Scout Comics is kind of the next publisher on my radar that I want to hop into. And while I think it's cool that, you know, when I subbed to Comic Tom, a lot of people were having those big like exclusive Marvel covers, but I like that they are publisher exclusives with an independent publisher. And now my wife is calling and I don't know where my phone is, so I will call her back in a moment. So here is book 2 from the box. This is, it's a Rebirth. Is it an Action Comics Rebirth? I know that's Superman and Doomsday punching the shit out of each other on the cover. So if this is a reboot of Action Comics, I think that's a cool have. And when I get my next box of goodies in the mail from Rad Raptor, where I purchased my first slab, I'll show you what it is, and it will pair well with that one, and it goes well with my motif of random characters that I like. Here's the art print. It's, I don't know who that is, but I'll look at the card and sheet in a minute, but it's signed and numbered, so it's 1,302 out of 1,650. So I'll add that to my collection of Comic Tom prints. I really like those. Here's the next one. Oh yeah. I talk about how much I love Daredevil all the time. This is a 60 center. This is an issue I don't have. It's a May 1984 book. Nat, I have got us a Squirrel Girl was one of the cards that they did a couple in my first box. So I hope I can get some Squirrel Girl or some, was she West Coast or Great Lakes Adventures, that I'll find some Squirrel Girl love there. All right, next one, Superman Born Again. This is book 687 from 1993. So is this what happens after all of that Superman dies business from the early 90s, and we saw like the Cyborg Superman and Supergirl and all of those other things? That'll be good. I don't have a lot of Superman. True Believers #1, Wolverine versus Sabretooth. So that I'm excited to have, that I love Wolverine, that I don't have either this cover or this book. I like these True Believers books because they are most of the time reprints of older stories, and I like that because if I'm too poor to be able to buy a big book in the future, I can look at those, or my son has a bunch of those True Believers comics, because I'll spend $1, and if he tears it up, I won't be sad. Here's another Scout book, Headless #1. This is also listed as a Comic Tom exclusive, so I think that's cool that even if I didn't get a signed book in this box, which I've gotten in the last 2, to get 2 exclusives from an indie pub, I'm super excited to see. And then there are 2 more things in here. Oh, hell yeah, another little poster. So Soul and Steve McNiven's Return of Wolverine. So this is going to go on my lovely little wall behind me that started with my son coloring Iron Man for me. And then here's the note card. So in terms of the covers, so the Headless cover, this one is a 1 in 1,600 variant, and the Virgin version of this, so it's a Peach Momoko cover. So I don't know what a Peach Momoko is, but I know a lot of people go crazy after Peach Momoko covers. So it's Peach Momoko cover, but the Virgin variant is a 1 in 150. The It Eats What Feeds It is 1 in 675. So getting 2 of those, we're excited. And then the numbered print is Delirium, and the artist is Piper, who I will look at. Yeah, Nick said that the freeze is sick, and I really like these cards because they're art, but then they're also the insert in there of describing what everything is. So I really enjoyed this box. I'm gonna keep riding the Comic Tom train. That until I get something where I absolutely think it's a dud, then I won't give my money. But you know, when all is said and done, I've enjoyed some new catch up reading to get because I read through my entire stack this morning, and I'm excited to now reread Dark Arc in the singles to read the stuff that I got from David. So if you are looking for somewhere new to buy or support some things from, especially if your LCS might not have some specific books, check out what David's got going on, and more importantly, follow the guy on Twitter. Check out the website, which he's in the process of redesigning, so you can look for new, independent, fresh, off the beaten path recommendations for people that really you should support because they care more about the consumer than larger publishers. Thanks to my dudes from Comic Burrito, I will enjoy my Something is Killing the Children bandana, and maybe the next time I pop in and crash your live stream, I'll be rocking my Comic Signal shirt. And then, yeah, if you're a mystery mail call kind of person, if you got an extra $30 lying around, then the Comic Tom box is worth it, I think. So I'm going to now go find where my phone is and probably help my wife who needs help with a child. But for everybody who came by, thanks for stopping by and have a good one.